Hello, Lorenzo here. Episode 27 of KSP Next. It has been a while, but we'll get to that in a bit. First, we're going to do some things and some stuff. Here we're launching the new ground mission 3 to send a probe to Saturn. Very, very appropriate today, as yesterday our real-world Saturn mission Cassini has crashed into Saturn. Now that sounds like a freak accident. It was in fact the plan. It's been going for, I think, 13 years of a science mission and like 20 years in total. I remember being a kid when it did the flyby, and some people were freaking out about, oh my god, it's going to crash into the Earth and poison us all with its plutonium. That didn't happen, nor really could it have happened. Anyway, that's the theme of today. We're going to send this thing to Saturn. We're also going to revisit our Jupiter probe and hopefully launch another one. So that's on the roll for today. Here we are launching the rocket, the F1 first stage. The two boosters have fallen away, and we're now inclining the rocket a little bit more to fix the trajectory. With the balloon cryo second stage, we can't have too high of an angle of attack in the upper atmosphere. It will burn up and explode. So we're doing a bit of a lofted trajectory, as you're seeing now. Accelerated, I think, about 10 times. This launch takes about 10 to 15 minutes in real world time. Now we have some J2 Hydrolux engines pushing the probe further. The probe we have on top of it is powered by solar panels for the third stage that will, of course, not last all the way to Saturn. As you can see, there's 4 radioisotope thermal generators on the probe itself that will sustain it on its way to Saturn. Well, the burns are long and they are completely in the dark, so we're going to time accelerate through them right fast. Here we have the last dregs of Hydrolux burning through the second stage, working on beginning the Saturn transfer window. What we have in KSP here is the luxury of launching big honking rockets that can do direct transfers. In the real world, money is an issue. We can't just use Saturn V's or interplanetary transport system boosters for every little probe. So usually we get the smallest and cheapest rocket we can get away with multiple planetary gravity assists. That will take a decade to get where we're going, but require a smaller rocket. Hopefully with the current developments that will change, because it's not necessary to take 15 years to get to Pluto. It's only the cheapest way. You could get there much faster if you build a bigger rocket. That goes for anything. Here we have the third stage with 3 rockets, surprisingly unstable under SAS guidance. It's since burned out, and we're working on the last 2 kilometers per second on these hydrazine thrusters. They take about 20 minutes to burn, and they will do so off screen. Look at the planet happily receding. We just had, no, we didn't have the jump cut yet. We'll have it soon. We have a sunrise here though, and you know, see those thrusters puffing away. There's the jump cut. The burn's almost complete, and we're on our way to Saturn. That'll take a while. Now let's see how our Jupiter probe is doing. Actually, yeah, we're actually on our way. I should make a reminder in the Kerbal alarm clock. Anyway, here we go. Reminder, the Joule 2 mission objective is a flyby under 20,000 kilometers. Keeping with the theme of crashing into gas giants as Cassini did yesterday, we're actually doing that because it turned out to be easier to put a collision course that, hey, you know, technically it will at some point be under 20,000 kilometers. It's also a flyby as we're not establishing orbit, and then, you know, just after that flyby we're just going to crash into it. So we're going to see how low we can go while still returning science and then burning up into Jupiter, not Saturn, but there we go. Closer to the surface, we're at fairly high altitude. That really shows how large Jupiter really is. We're still at 5,000 kilometers over the surface, and look at that. It looks like the Earth does from about 150 kilometers. So that's a sense of scale for you there. And our speed is skyrocketing because Jupiter is pulling us in real hard. We're at 50 kilometers per second now, 55-ish. We're at 1500 kilometers altitude, and the burning is gonna start any second now. It really won't take long. There we go. Our Joule 2 probe has well, almost completely burned up, has completely burned up. There we go. No chance of it contaminating anything else. Now, for a fresh new launch of a Newcomb mission, a previous attempt has failed. There wasn't an episode on this because the footage got lost, but I will talk to you about that in another video. Anyway, we are launching this Venus relay. Its mission is to get to Venus, obviously. The launch looked the same as the other one. Get to Venus, establish orbit, and then act as a relay for a future lander. So here we are with the second stage, establishing Earth orbit. This probe does not have radioisotope thermal generators because, you know, it's going to Venus. It's going to the inner solar system. We can just put like 1 or 2 solar panels on it, and that will, well, drown it in power, really. So that should work. The reason we want a communications relay is not the range, because it's perfectly feasible to have antenna dishes that can communicate from Venus to Earth, but the occlusion of the planet, depending on where you are, if you're getting close to the surface, about half the time there will be a planet in between you and the Earth, so that won't work. Anyway, here we are in orbit. You can see the big heat shield that's intended for Venus entry. We are burning, and this probe is using reaction wheels rather than RCS fuel. So with all the electricity it will have available, it should be able to keep doing maneuvers essentially forever. Unfortunately, that does mean one small oversight: a reaction wheel can't really do an ullage burn. So here we turn off the engine, and we'll never be able to turn it on again for course corrections or Venus insertions, because now the fuel is floating around inside the tanks. I did try and spin the ship with the reaction wheel, but that, you know, the reaction wheel is probe sized and not ship sized, so that wasn't working. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to leave this probe dead in the water on a Venus intercept, but it can't really do anything else because yeah, no RCS thrusters. So we're gonna redesign a Venus probe to do that in the next episode, but for now we'll have to wave goodbye to Newcomb 2. Unfortunately, it's not going to be able to accomplish anything. Right, so that's it for today's episode. A little bit shorter than usual, and made out of a really old footage because it's been months and months. And I'll give you a small explanation. It's because life's been good. I've started a new job. I picked up skydiving. I've been doing lots of fun stuff outside the computer room. So I kind of lost the KSP mojo a little bit. It's fall now, so expect a few more videos. I will see when I'll be able to squeeze them in. I still like doing them. It's just a question of priorities. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Hope you're still around, and we'll see how things go. I did design a moon rocket, which will definitely fly. So, see y'all later. I'm Lorenzo. Goodbye.